Right. Okay. So hopefully you've got a style sheet and also you've got an index sheet, a web page, sorry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach that to it. So if you go to File, or you see I'm on my index page, you just go down and you put Attach Style Sheet. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I've got two which look the same. So just for this, I'm just going to grab the style sheet from there so I know that I'm getting the correct one. Okay, and just click OK. You'll just have one, so you'll just be able to easily find that. And you'll see that what happens is the link goes into the top of your index page. All right. Now, nothing really will change because we haven't given these areas any attributes, but with the body, it will pick up the body. Now, the body was grey, so when I go to save, and I go down to the bottom here, I can just see what's going on, and you can see that everything is grey. Okay, and that's because it's picking up the style from this style sheet. So if I change that to green, okay, and then resave that, you'll see that the background color is green all of a sudden. So it's picking up the styles from this style sheet. So the next thing we need to do is we can't see these areas because we haven't given them enough information. So we've got the background color is white, but what we need to do is I'm going to put the width and the height in. Okay, so the width is how wide, okay, each area is in terms of proportion to the actual oops, I put it in the wrong area there, so I'll just get that out in a moment. But 80%, it's 80% of the page. I'm just going to take it out of the body. Okay, so hopefully now we'll be able to see these different areas. Okay, so let's just quickly go on to there. It always have to be in the index page. Okay, and there we go. You can see that it's appeared. Okay, so we've got these other bits as well there. We've got this margin. Okay, this is auto. Now what this will do is if I put this into my style sheet, just going to pop it in the header and the main there again. So I'm just going to go back to save, go back to my index to view the page. Okay, so the auto, what that does, it says basically it's 80%. Before it was sort of pushed over here, but automatically it sets it in the middle. So you've got sort of 10% there, you've got this full 80%, and then 10% there of the page. So hopefully that makes sense of what I've done there. Okay. Now the other bits I've got in there is if I go back to my style sheet, the height, the 200 pixels, that's just basically the height of each of those blocks. If I change it to 300, one of them would be sort of taller than the other ones. Okay. I've also got, I'm going to put a border around, okay, just to sort of show you what these are. So these are the border. Now you can see here I've made the border solid. I've just typed in border. It's really simple. Once you just start typing it, these options come up. So if I took that out and I start typing in border, you can see there comes up, sorry, and you can choose it, and then once you start sort of typing it appears as well. You still need a semicolon, and then the border color is black. So again, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to grab those just from my previous style sheet. I'm just going to drop them in. Obviously you'll have to type them, but once you've typed them once, just copy and paste them down. Okay, go back to your index page and then save all. Okay, and there you see the borders. Now the final thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to give these a margin. So I want to have a little margin at the top of 20 pixels, and then I want another margin in between each of these gaps here. So what I'm going to do is in this style sheet, you see I've given the top one a top margin. I'm just going to do that. So that's on the header. Okay, so top margin, I'm just going to pop that in there. All right, so that's going to give me 20 pixels at the top of that one there. So again, if we just go back to save, you can see I've just got a little gap there. That's a margin sort of around each of the blocks. But I just want these separated as well. So I'm going to put a bottom margin in here, which will push this down 20. And then I just want another 20 down here as well. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm grabbing the bottom and this is going to go into the bottom of the header, and then I want it to the bottom of the main. Okay? I don't want anything else other than that. So again, I'm just going to save it all, and I'm going to go back to my index page, and there you see I've got my top margin, I've got my bottom margin, which is actually at the top of this main area, but it's to do with this, and then I've got my bottom margin of the main area, which sits just above the footer as well. So have a go at doing that. Hopefully that makes sense. And now what you can see is every time I change something in my style sheet, it's affecting these areas on my main page.